I can read, you can read. I can understand, you can understand. From where I came from, a few simple things I did and tried, revolutionized my life in 5 years. There isn't anybody here that can't do it. Change from pennies to fortune. Change from nothing to something. Change from broke to rich. Anybody in this room can do it. If any of us can do it, we all can do it. That's the kind of value you should place on it. Jim Rohn can understand it, I can understand it. If he can read, I can read. If he can find it, I can find it. If he can change, I can change. If he can get it done, I can get it done. That's the attitude about yourself. So valued, okay? Now, in transforming our lives, we don't start with attitude. We don't start with the inspiration here. We start with education. Somebody says, well, I expected you to just come get motivated today. Well, that probably won't do it. Somebody says, by now we should be standing on the chairs, waving a flag, singing the old gray mare. Get going here. No, that's not where you start. Life change does not start with inspiration. Life change starts with education. You've got to be educated to the point of where you might have messed up. My teacher put it in blunt, simple language. He only went to the 9th grade school, so put it in simple language I could understand. He said, Mr. Rohn, after 6 years living in America, healthy American male, 25 years old, been working 6 years, 1 year of college, pennies in your pocket, nothing in the bank, behind on your promises. Cho said, I just got one simple explanation for that. You've messed up. Now, I could understand that kind of language. Substitute a Hershey bar for an apple means you've messed up. Should walk around the block, could walk around the block, won't walk around the block. You have messed up. And all you got to go is write down through the list. Don't need some teacher to come by and tell you. Be your own best teacher saying, hey, let me make a list of some places I've messed up. Because if I let this down, that probably affects the rest. And the answer is that's true. So we don't start with inspiration, start with education. Somebody says, well, just motivate this guy. He'll be all right. Just motivate him. Get him turned on. Probably not. If a guy's an idiot, you motivate him. Now you got a motivated idiot. No, he won't be all right. So we start with education. What's the first education? If it isn't going well and you live in America, you have messed up. You don't need to change countries. You say, well, the country's messed up. That's like cursing the soil and cursing the seed and the sunshine and the rain, which is all you got. Don't curse all you got. When you get your own planet, you can rearrange this whole deal. But this one, you got to take like it comes. So number 2 is attitude. Here was number 3, activity. This is the work part, the labor part, taking action. The activity is the miracle work piece. Miracle being something we don't quite understand how it works. Doesn't mean it doesn't work. It means we just don't quite understand how it works. Miracles work. God says. Now, I'm an amateur on God, but here's my best analysis. God says, if you'll plant seed, I'll make tree. Now, that's a good arrangement. Number 1, gives God the tough end of the deal. What if you had to make the tree? That'd keep you up late at night trying to figure out, how do you make a tree? Say, no. I'm telling you, the mystery and the miracle of this stuff has already been set up. God says, I got the miracle going. I got the seasons going. I got some sunshine and some rain, and I'm God. But the way I've arranged it, I just need somebody to plant, not chant. California, they're trying to chant to get this stuff done. Forget this California stuff. You don't have to rub a crystal and sleep under a pyramid. Stuff's too easy. Getting rich is too easy. Changing your life is too easy. Forget all that. Massive bombard, affirmation, forget all that, my opinion. Ocean waves and seagulls, come on, this stuff's simple, easy stuff. But if you neglect, that's how it piles up year after, if you're willing to straighten it out. Here's one of the keys, called activity, called discipline. Turning wisdom from your philosophy and inspiration, strengthening of attitude, faith, courage, commitment, all this stuff that comes from attitude. If you're willing to take these 2 qualities, philosophy and attitude, and invest it into activity, you can have a miracle. Anything short of that, no miracle. Wisdom doesn't perform a miracle. Attitude doesn't perform a miracle. The only thing that performs a miracle of increase called equity is called putting wisdom and attitude, discipline, labor. This labor now performing. Here's the 2 parts of the labor. 1, do what you can. Number 2, do the best you can. Give you better advice. Number 1, do what you can. You just got to go home and make a list after today. Here's the question to ask as you make this personal list. What am I not doing that would be easy to do, that could greatly change my health, my wealth? What am I not doing I'm neglecting that would be easy to do? Go home and answer that question personally. You don't have to put the answers on a public bulletin board. They're just all personal. From the walk around the block to the apple to what to do with your money, which we're going to cover today. What does a child do with $1? We're going to cover that today. Errors in judgment, disaster. Few simple disciplines, wealth beyond imagining. And if you'll pick up the activity part, the miracle working part, plant the seed part, take care of your part. Soil will take care of its part. Seed will take care of its part. The seasons will take care of their part. The miracle will take care of its part. If you'll take care of your part, called putting it into activity. Works miracle. 2,000 years ago, on April 13th, one of Jesus' disciples. Now again, I'm an amateur on the Bible. disciple, best as I can remember it, one of Jesus' disciples said to Jesus, "It's time to pay our taxes and we don't have any money." That's how come I know it was about April 13th. To this statement by his disciple, Jesus said, best as I can read the record, Jesus said, "No problem." Now, why could he say no problem? Well, word has it, he was a miracle worker. Word has it, if you're a good student of history, word has it, he was a miracle worker. If you handed a problem to a miracle worker, what would he be inclined to say? No problem. You got to hang out with folks like that. I belong to a small group like that. We do business around the world. You hand these guys a problem, they say no problem. What? How many books would they read to solve it? Many as it takes. How early would they get up? Early as it takes. How much information would they get? As much as they needed. So it's what? No problem. You got to hang out with folks like that. Jesus said this will be no problem, the tax thing. He said to his disciple, it's simple. Go fishing. Wow. Now that was easy for this particular disciple. His name was Peter, and Peter was a fisherman. How clever. How clever. But here's the real problem. If you should fish, and you could fish, and you don't fish, you got no miracle. You could change, you should change, you won't change. That's called accumulated disaster.
And the next day when we were in the truck going back to Liberty City and we pulled down 68th Terrace, the neighbors came out and said, "Whoa, Mamie, y'all coming back? Are you back?" "Yes." "What happened to the home your boy bought for you? Those boys you adopted?" Leslie didn't do a title search. He made a mistake. And boy, I was so humiliated. How many ever made a mistake that you were just humiliated? Raise your hands. I was devastated. I was taking the furniture off the truck and my mother came and I was crying. And she said, "Boy," I said, "Yes, ma'am." She said, "Hold your head up." I said, "Mama, I can't." She said, "Hold your head up." I said, "Why? Look what I've done." She said, "It's okay. It's okay. You are going to make a lot of mistakes in life, young man. You're going to fail your way to success. You have nothing to be ashamed of. Keep your head up and take that furniture back in the house." I said, "Yes, ma'am." And I learned something from that. If you ever go through something, hold your head up. If you ever make a mistake, hold your head up. If you ever do something that everything goes wrong, life catch you on the blind side, hold your head up. It's not over. Goethe says, that which does not kill you will make you stronger. Hold your head up. Shake someone's hand on your right and left and say, hold your head up. Here's something else, ladies and gentlemen. Repeat after me, please. You got to be hungry. Everybody together, you got to be hungry. I'll never forget Mr. Washington said, "Mr. Brown, yes, sir. What do you want to do with your life, young man?" I said, "Sir, I want to be a disc jockey." He said, "Mr. Brown?" I said, "Yes, sir." He said, "You got to be hungry." I said, "What do you mean by that?" He said, "People that are hungry are willing to do the things today others won't do in order to have the things tomorrow others won't have. People that are hungry are willing to invest in themselves. People that are hungry will go to seminars and workshops. People that are hungry are always searching, always seeking higher ground." So how do you want to make it? I said, "I want to be a disc jockey." He says, "Good. Here's what to do." He said, "I want you to read 10 to 15 pages of something positive every day." He said, "You don't get in life what you want, you get in life what you are. You must program yourself to success." He said, "I want you to listen to Earl Nightingale and Zig Ziglar. Listen, faith comes by hearing and hearing and hearing." He said, "I want you to change your relationships, and I don't want you to ever lose your hunger." I said, "What do you mean by that?" He said, "People that are hungry are unstoppable. People that are hungry are no matter what people. They make it happen no matter what." He said, "I want you to listen to Paul Harvey." Who is he? He's the world's greatest communicator. Success leaves clues, young man. Always listen and follow people who are doing what it is you want to do at the level you want to do it and learn from them.
But if you just give me your normal pitch, here's the package, here's the money, here's what you can make, that gets average, ordinary people to say yes. You must express outwardly what you're looking for when you're recruiting. Does that make sense to everybody? Say yes to that. You combine an evangelical message, being a great storyteller, and starting to express exactly what you're looking for and visualize that person. Are they a man or are they a woman? Are they short or are they tall? Are they minority or are they not? Do they have a military athletic background? What are you looking for? Not just people. You'll begin to attract to your organization the very people you look for if you're specifically looking for them. Make sense? Yes or no? Don't you want that person who's like, "I don't even have to call this dude. I don't don't even call him. He's out there before me. I remember the first time my best guy ever made millions of dollars. I remember the first time we had a meeting and he picked up the chairs after the meeting. It was just a little thing. I was like, the meeting was over and I always was the guy who folded all the chairs afterwards. I'll never forget his name's Dan Charlier, the dude that I talked about in his wedding. And he was a former drill instructor in the Marine Corps, carried the colors at the White House. He's a stud. Anyway, this dude picked up all the chairs after. I was like, I've been here 5 years. No one's ever picked up those chairs. I might have a one more multiplier. Turns out I did. And I had about 8 of him within about a year. And it made my organization go from a good company to a movement, to a cause, because I got one more multiplier. A couple more things I want to share. This is good stuff, by the way. I hope we got a recording of this. I think I want this one. All right, so a couple more things really quick because I'm limited on time. I want to tell you a story about Ed Mylett, not me, my old man. So there's 3 Ed Myletts. I'm Edward III. I have a grandfather, my dad just died just a few weeks ago. My dad fought cancer for about 9 years. Growing up, my dad was alcoholic and would be gone. And it was a great, everything happens for you, not to you. The reason I have an ability to read people and to be present with them and to transfer energy with them is because when I was a 4-year-old boy with 3 little sisters, I had to read which dad was coming through the front. Is this happy, sober dad who wants to play catch? Or is this drunk dad? By the way, I got so good at it, I could tell by how the keys hit the lock which dad was coming through. And then I knew how to change his energy. Little 4-year-old little me. So these things that happen to you in life are all blessed, even when they're horrible. I don't speak to you right now if my dad's not alcoholic. I can't give you that energy that you felt if my dad didn't drink. I can't read you if my dad didn't drink. In fact, my career changed because my dad got sober, got me a job at his AA meeting because I was unemployed at an orphanage, and that orphanage changed my life because now I'm serving people first time in my life, and now I've been serving people the rest. So it's crazy. My dad got me this job. My dad gets sober. I'm living at home on his couch. He goes, I got you a job. I'm sick of you eating out of the fridge. I'm like, I got a college degree. What exactly is this job? He's like, you don't get to choose, dude. You're going tomorrow morning. And it was called McKinley Home for Boys. It's an orphanage. I walk into Cottage 8. It's 8 to 10-year-old boys. My boys were all either molested by their family, dad's incarcerated, or they're dead. And I became their father. I took them trick-or-treating. I was there Christmas Day. At 22 years old, that was my job. It changed my life because I went from being this ego-driven athlete to serving people. And I could connect with them because I had a dysfunct family, right? And all these boys wanted was someone to love them, believe in them, care about them, show them how to live better. You know what I do for a living now? I love people, I believe in them, I care about them, I show them how to live better. Every human being is just like my little boy. All the people that work for you, they want you to love them, care them, believe in them, show them how to live better. That's all everybody ever you meet wants. Love me, man, care about me, believe in me, show me how to do a little better. Business or life, that's all they ever want.
What are you so afraid of? Why would you not take that leap, go for it before you mess around and die? Why would you not go and see what God really got for you before you leave this world? Why would you hang on to a job? Here's what happens, y'all. If you live in paycheck to paycheck right now, when you retire, they're going to give you 1/3 of what you can't live on now. They're going to give you a gold watch and a turkey, and they're going to set you on out to pass. If I was you, before I leave this world, I go see what God really got for me. Just take a chance. Now, here's why you should take the chance. Name me one time God has not pulled you through. Just name it. Name the one thing God has never pulled you through. If he ain't pulled you through it, he's currently pulling you through it right now. And the reason I know I'm telling the truth is because you're sitting in here. If God was through with you, he wouldn't wake you up no more. When he wakes you up, it's because he ain't through with you yet. He got something else for you. So why don't you go see what that is? Look, it's mostly black people in here. Why we keep living our lives like we still slaves? Why we got to live our lives like we owe them something? Man, you owe yourself something. Go be free. Go see what God got for you. Oh, Steve, that's easy for you to say. You rich. Hell, did you hear me? I lived in a car for 3 years. On October 8th, I won $50. October 9th, I quit. How big a jump you want to take? You ain't even got to do it. A lot of y'all got savings. You may not have 3 years up, but you only need a little bit. Just jump. Go see what God got for you. Quit sitting here in your life posturing like it's okay. Quit funking the fake. Quit faking the funk. Quit got people thinking you something you ain't, man, when you really know you won't be something else. Can I just say that to a room full of black people? Dog, I get tired. I was speaking at Villanova last year. I had to stand up and pull myself together. Man, I couldn't wait to come here. I couldn't wait to come here so I could just be my natural black self. I just get tired. You know, look, I'm a host of Little Big Shots and Kids and Family Feud. I got a talk show. Let me tell you something, dog. I got 6 TV shows on the air right now, and all 6 of them is #1 in their time slot. Cause of God. Now, with that said, do you know how I have to be the majority of my life? Something for somebody else. This is the first room I've been in where I ain't got beat at. You know, I talk just like this here. I don't have no big words. I'm just telling you just like it is. You ain't got to believe me, but you can look at me. I'm telling you, it's proof in this here now that the God you serve really will give you what you ask for. He will. I'm not your preacher. I'm a hood dude that done messed around with no education. The mess around got to the top of the TV world, balling out of control. And I'm telling you, I was homeless and lived in a car, and I ain't got no education. Now y'all in here got degrees. I see it on your forehead. I can tell by the way you're listening to me. You know how to listen. You know. Oh my God, this Negro's humorous. I see it on you. I feel when I'm around educated people. I know you know how to study it and math. I can look at you and I'm so proud of you. But hey man, the next level, go make yourself some money. You ain't got to make $1 million, but 300,000 nice. 300,000 nice, though.
First, never underestimate your own intelligence, and never overestimate the intelligence of others. Don't sell yourself short. Concentrate on your assets. Discover your superior talents. Remember, it's not the amount of intelligence you have that counts. It's how you use what you've got. Learn to effectively manage your brains instead of worrying about your IQ. Secondly, constantly remind yourself, my attitudes are more important than my intelligence. At work and at home, practice positive attitudes. See the reasons why you can do it, not the reasons why you can't. Put your intelligence to creative, positive use. Find ways to win, not ways to lose. Finally, remember that the ability to think is much more valuable than the ability to memorize facts. Use your mind to create and develop ideas, to seek solutions, to find new and better ways of doing things.
So far, we've talked about belief as a basic ingredient of success, and we've talked about excusitis as a major cause of failure. Now I want to state for you the most important single concept in your plan for personal success. Where success is concerned, people are not measured in inches or pounds or college degrees or family background. They are measured by the size of their thinking. How big we think determines the size of our accomplishments. So what we are going to do now is to enlarge your thinking. The first step in this process is to clear away some of the obstacles to thinking big. One of the first ones is self-deprecation. That is, the tendency to run ourselves down or sell ourselves short. This is a very common failure, and many people condemn themselves to a life of mediocrity by refusing to believe in their own abilities and their own self-worth. But I can prove to you right now, by way of another experiment in your people laboratory, that you are many times more accomplished, smarter, and better than you think you are. Here's the experiment.
First, think of your 3 major assets. These can be anything that you know that you're good at. You may be well organized, or a good listener, or perhaps you're good at creative solutions to everyday problems. Whatever these are, think of 3 positive attributes that you give yourself credit for. Now, considering each asset in turn, one at a time, think of at least 2 people that you know who you consider more successful than yourself, but who you feel do not have that particular asset to the degree that you do. For example, maybe your coworker got a promotion last month, but you didn't. But if you think about it, you're a better problem solver than that person is. Do this process for each of the 3 assets you've chosen. And once you've done that, consider this conclusion. You've just identified at least 6 people who are now more successful than you, and in at least one area, you're better than all of them. So the next time you're selling yourself short, recall this experiment and enlarge your thinking. It's important to keep in mind that there's nothing abstract or mystical about learning to think big. It's a very concrete, practical process, and there are specific things you can do to develop the skill. For example, consider the way you speak. Now, words are the raw materials of thought. When you hear words or read words, your mind automatically converts them into images. And when you're doing the speaking or the writing, you're acting as a kind of projector, in effect showing movies in the minds of others. The pictures that you create will determine the reactions to what you're saying. For example, let's suppose you're in a group of people at work, and a supervisor comes before your group and says, "Well, I'm sorry to say that this project has failed." Now, what's your group going to see from these words? What kind of images will you get? You'll see images of disappointment and defeat, inspired by that word, failed. But now let's suppose the supervisor comes before the group and says, "I've got a new approach here that I really believe will work, and I'd like to get your feedback on it." Now, this is a response that will easily fit the same situation, but the supervisor has not created any negative images. Instead, he's created positive ones. The group feels encouraged. They're ready to try again. By the same token, if the supervisor says, "We've got a problem," then the task ahead looks formidable, maybe even insurmountable. But if instead he says, "We we face a challenge, then your mind images are likely to be positive. You've got something to look forward to, something to really sink your teeth into. The point is simply this. Big thinkers are specialists in creating positive, forward-looking, optimistic pictures in their own minds and in the minds of others. To think big, we have to use words and phrases that produce big, positive mental images. So here are some examples of phrases that create negative, small mental images, followed by phrases that create big, positive ones. Listen to each of these and ask yourself in each case, what mind pictures do I see?
I've tried, but this product just won't sell. The fact is, people don't want it.
So far, I haven't been able to move this product, but I know it's good, and I'm going to find the formula that'll put it across.
I was in that business once, but it failed. Never again.
I went broke the first time, but I learned a lot from it. Now I'm ready to give it another shot.
Well, let's face it. This was over. We're whipped.
This is far from over. Let's keep trying. Hey, I've got a great idea.
Did you notice the difference in the images that those phrases created? Now, listen to the words that you hear around you every day and see if you can perceive the difference between the images created by successful people and the images created by mediocre people. And while you're doing this, start developing your own Big Thinker's vocabulary. You can do it with these 4 steps. First, use big, positive, cheerful words and phrases to describe how you feel. Remember the cures for health excusitis? When you say, I feel great, you make yourself feel better, and you make others around you feel better too. Say that you feel wonderful at every possible opportunity, and you'll begin to feel better and bigger and more successful. Second, use bright, cheerful, favorable words to describe other people. When you and someone else are discussing a third party who's not present, don't run that person down. Instead, go out of your way to compliment that person with big words and phrases, like, they tell me she's working out fantastically well. Everybody's delighted she's here. Sooner or later, negative words will get back to the person in question, and that will only serve to cut you down. Next, use positive language to encourage others. Compliment people personally at every opportunity. Everyone craves praise. Have a special good word for your wife or husband every day. Notice and compliment the people who work with you and for you. Praise, sincerely administered, is a success tool. It's one we'll discuss more later. Learn to use this tool again and again. Finally, use positive words to outline plans to others. Go back to our list of negative and positive phrases from a few minutes ago. Make the positive images part of your vocabulary and weed out the negative ones. When people hear you say, here's some good news, we've got a genuine opportunity, then you'll get cooperation, enthusiasm, and success in return. But if you say, like it or not, we've got a job to do, then you're creating a dull, boring image, and people will react accordingly. So build castles with your words. Don't dig graves.
So the very first time I hosted the show, we got to the end, and I was to announce the winner of the 2015 Miss Universe pageant. Now, we had rehearsed this all week long. We would announce the second runner-up and then the winner. Second runner-up and then the winner. They changed it. I said that's the best way to do it. So that night, and all in rehearsal, 2 names on the card. They just put fake names on the card because they don't know. All through rehearsal, 2 names on the card. That night, when it's time to announce the winner, the teleprompter, they handed me the card. I see the 2 names, and I got the card down. The teleprompter, right inside the camera, says, and the new 2015 Miss Universe is, that's what it said. I read that, I'm looking, that's it, I'm reading, I can read. I ain't all that smart, but I can read. The new 2015 Miss Universe is, I wear an IBF in my ear. It's 2 names on the card. He says, say the second name, hold. Now, Miss Columbia. Great job, Steve. Go in the back. Set up for the close. I go in the back. 2 minutes later, the stage manager comes to me and goes, Steve, you said the wrong name. Who are you talking to? He said, Steve, you said the wrong name. I didn't say the wrong name. I read the teleprompter, then I read the name on the card. I read it. It's right there. It said Miss Columbia. It ain't two of them, it's just one. He said, but they put a third name on the card. It was under your thumb. I said, wait a minute. We've been practicing all week with just two names. Who put the third name on the card? When was y'all gonna tell me? He said, don't worry about it. We'll straighten it out tomorrow in the newspaper. I said, oh, no. I go out here now. Because my father raised me to be a man of honor. That when you make a mistake, you have to own up to it. So I said, I'm going to go out here and I'm going to tell them now. Because the winner was really Miss Philippines. Miss Philippines was the winner. I said, Miss Columbia, it's a mistake. I go out. I said, I made a huge mistake. My wife was on the third row. I saw her face. My son was sitting next to her. I saw them. They looked so hurtful. It was the worst mistake in television. So I said, I'm sorry, but this is the mistake that was made. I said, it was my fault. I saw this vision. I just pursued it. I said, wow, that's it. You have to take chances in life. Life is about risk. If you play it safe in life, you ain't gonna have much of a life. If you play it safe, you won't have much of a life. Life is risk. It take courage to pursue your dream. Now, it's gonna cost you something. Most people are not willing to pay what it costs to go after your dream, because you're gonna have to hurt a little bit. And most people don't like being uncomfortable. If you don't want to be uncomfortable, please do not pursue success, because success is a very uncomfortable feeling. And I learned to be comfortable being uncomfortable. Life is hard. See, for every time you have a plan, a dream, an aspiration, or a goal, do you know what happens every time you have one of those? This thing comes along called life. It happens to everybody. Life has disappointment. It's got peaks and valleys. You're gonna lose somebody you care about one day. That's a valley. Somebody gonna close the plant you thought was gonna stay open so you could retire. That's a valley. Somebody gonna fire you for an unjust cause. That's a valley. The people that got your credit card gonna sell their company, gonna sell their business to another credit card company. Your 18% go up to 26%. You don't even know why now. Your minimum didn't change because it's life. You can stop thinking that life fitting be easy, because I got news for you, it ain't. That's a false hope to think you're gonna have a wonderfully carefree life. That's unthinkable. We all live in this bubble. What you gotta do, you gotta put more air in your bubble. You got to blow your bubble up. Expand yourself. Take yourself out your comfort zone. Do not live in your bubble. Put some more air in your bubble. If you stay in your comfort zone, that's where you will fail. You will fail in your comfort zone. Success is not a comfortable procedure. It is a very uncomfortable thing to attempt. So you got to get comfortable being uncomfortable if you ever want to be successful. Start putting some pressure on. Put some pressure on yourself. Get out here and get about it. Look, I'd love to sugarcoat this thing for you. I'd love to tell you, look, you can go out here and get rich, do a couple of things. That ain't happening. You got to get real doggish. You got to get downright funky if you want to make it. Now, like I was telling you before, if you want to be ordinary, you ain't even got to listen to me. Just go on about your business. If you think ordinary's cool, ain't no problem. It's some really, really wonderful ordinary people. But if you are sitting in this room and you have extraordinary aspirations, then you're going to have to do extra. You put extra on top of ordinary and you come up with extraordinary. It's no other way.
You've got to dream. Don't lose your dreams for yourself, for your future, for your family. The dreams of love and enterprise and travel and doing things, becoming something unique on your journey here. Don't lose your dreams. Do some dreaming. That's long-range goals. You got to have those. So that's number one. Here's the second part of goals, short range. Short-range goals. That's your goals for tomorrow, this week, this month, this year, the immediate future. We call these confidence builders. Because if you set up something short-range, go for it, get it, latch onto it, work hard, accomplish it. That starts building your strong feelings to go for your dreams. Now, I've divided goals into 3 categories. Here they are. Number 1 is economic. That's your goals for money, income, business, profits, production. Economics. Make sure you've got your economics well planned. Economics plays a major role in everybody's life. Economics is major, which means it ought to be meticulously well planned for tomorrow, this week, this month, this year, long range. What if you asked somebody tomorrow if you could see their meticulously well-planned list of economic goals? What would they probably say? They'd say, you some kind of a nut? You must be weird. Hey, I found out what success is. Success is doing what the failures won't do. Make sure you've got your economics well planned. It'll put you in the top 5%. One of the key little subjects we talk about on the weekend is the 7 fundamentals for wealth and happiness. And that's one of them, well-planned economics. It's a fundamental if you want to do well. Join the top 5%. Anybody in this room can join the top 5%, if you will. Now here's the second category of goals, things. Make a list of the things you want. And on my list of things, now I put everything. Little things as well as major things. Doesn't matter how small it is, it goes on my list. I used to just put major things, cars, homes. I don't do that anymore. I now load my list with everything. Everything. And the reason is, part of the fun of having a list is checking it off. That's it. Boy, at the end of the day, if you can go, got it, got it, got it, got it, got it, got it, whatever it is, right? You get into the habit. So load up your list, the things you want. Now, when you check off something major, celebrate. That's an important point to make. Celebrate your achievements. Live it up. Have a party when you reach something you've worked for a while. See, we all grow from two experiences. One is called the pain of losing. The other one is called the joy of winning. We need both of them. Amplify them as much as you can, which also means make losing painful. If you set up something, fooled around, didn't get it, put it on yourself. On the other side, if you did get it, congratulate yourself. Self-congratulations is a sign of maturity. Seeking congratulations is a sign of immaturity. But hey, winning and losing, see, that's what it's all about. That's the name of the game. Now, some people lead such mediocre lives, at the end of the day, they don't know whether they're winning or losing. They got no clue. Guy's just going through the day with his fingers crossed. There's a better way. Okay, here's the third category of goals. Personal development. Put those goals together. Personal development goals. That's your goals to be stronger, more decisive, be a speaker, be a leader, learn a language, all kinds of skills. Okay. The whole weekend seminar was designed to improve all your skills so that you walk away more skillful. And that's what you want, the personal development skills. That's what attracts, that's what brings good things to your life, the person you become, more skillful. Now, this is quite a package to work on. Economics, things, personal development. For tomorrow, this week, this month, this year, long range. Okay? That'll get you started. Now, here's the simple formula for setting goals. It goes like this. A, work on your goals. That's step one. Work on them. And I put the word work there deliberately. Setting goals is plain hard work. I don't want to kid you. We haven't come here tonight to kid each other. It's work. I know it's work. That's why a lot of people just let it slide. It's work. Many people work hard on their job, but they don't work hard on their future. They just let that slide. And the work involved is making plans. I know most people don't. I understand that. But don't let that be you. Guy says, well, yeah, you work where I work, but the time you struggle home, it's late. You got to eat a bite of supper, watch a little TV, get to bed. You can't sit up half the night. Plan, plan, plan. And the guy's behind. Good worker, hard worker, sincere. But you got to be better than sincere, working hard. You got to be better than a good worker. You got to be a good planner. Somebody once wisely said, the people who fail to plan are planning to fail. Well said. So work on your goals. Here's step 2. Write your goals down. That's so important. I teach my staff around the world, put your goals in your journal. Because one of the major people you want to study is yourself. So here's the list of goals I put together 3 weeks ago. Here's the list of goals I put together 2 years ago. Here's some of the changes I made, rearrangement of my priorities. I scratched these off, I put these on, I've gotten these. Study your accomplishments, study what your desires are. Put them on paper, write them down. Here's another reason for writing your goals down. It shows you're serious about doing better. And to do better, you gotta get serious. You don't have to be grim, but you must be serious. Everybody hopes things will get better. Everybody hopes. Poor people hope. That ought to tell you something.